Excuse me. Peace, peace and infinite blessings. Peace, infinite blessings, love and power. What up, though? Nah, peace, love, peace, infinite blessings, peace, love, and power. Yeah, eternal power. That is. I wanted to speak about what I feel is the most important job I've ever had in my life. And I'm open to, people hitting up and seeing what they feel, how if they, if they can agree or disagree. All is well. I'm open for, information, not debate. Yeah, the most important job I've ever had in my life. First, I'm, you know, starting out, I like to work on cars, so that was a job to me. Worked at the auto parts store with my stepdad. You know, or actually, you know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about the importance of, men being father figures, like the importance of men being father figures. And I know um, father figures and fathers, because the responsibility for us as a nation of human beings and us being, melanated men, those who look like me, you know, uh, and men in general who have the responsibility for, a family, children, wife, parents, you know, responsibility just for an abode. Uh, I want to say the importance how important it is to be a good parent, a good father, or a good influence, and the importance of, like, no matter what nobody says, no matter if it's your child or if it's a child that you meet on the street, or if it's a child that you're involved with her mother, with the child, or the child's mother, you know, or father for that matter. But I'm speaking for the mother, for the father, from the father's perspective right now. You know, looking at the fact that we all need some type of an influence, and I was blessed enough to have a good influence, a loving influence to start out in my life, even though my father wasn't there for the majority of the part of my life, the teenage years, but he was there for the first 7, 8 years strong, and then kind of started fading around in my teenage years. Um, but he showed me a lot of love to start with, and in that during that same time, I had an uncle who used to do everything for me. Like, he used to allow me to, he taught me basically. He allowed me to learn in his presence, should I say? He taught me how to, shoot a gun. He taught me how to sail a boat, and he taught me how to fish. He taught me how to hunt. He gave me my first shotgun, and he basically gave me the foundation of what a man would need to know how to do in order to, like, feed himself if and his family if it came down to it, if we had to go back to just those times. So yeah, and I appreciate that. And I had a couple of uncles like that that were just good positive role models, you know, um, to me. My uncle, who was a pastor, he was a good dude, regardless of how I view, anybody's religion or anything. That man was a good man. He taught me a lot. Um, he really was an honest dude, and he really did good by me and his family. To me, that's just my opinion. But just having an influence like that, I'm saying, just having an influence from an elder as a child, it helped me later on in life because I had something to go back to in my thoughts. Even though I was out here wilding, I had something to go back to in my thoughts, and I believe that's what kept me grounded on a bunch of other things that kept me from going, ham in certain areas, like going too far in certain areas because of that. But and then I had my stepfather, Harry Gibson. I want to say that's when I realized, okay, being a stepfather is got to be a responsibility because you're taking on somebody else's child, responsibility for somebody else's child, and you're having to have a relationship, based upon an outside entity for that child, if that child has a father that's present or if not. you're not the child's father, so you have to be, in a certain place. My stepfather told me day one, you don't have to call me dad, daddy, none of that. I want to be your friend. I want to assist you to things you need assistance with. He had met my father, and he and my father had already spoken, had an understanding about some things. So it was like, it was he's just a really good guy, and he was much older than my mom. I think he might have been 20 years older than my mother. You know what I'm saying? But he was really, really, really one. He was really, really a blessing in my life because he gave me that foundation from an elder's perspective. Gave me a way to look at stuff, and because my mother was kind of turned up with me, he gave me a balance to on how to deal with my mom. He was much older, so he came from a different perspective. She could never try him like she tried my father, and like she would consistently be trying me. You know, so I'm just saying, if you get the opportunity to be a stepfather and you love the woman that you're with, I'm not telling nobody to simp up and deal with no baby mama drama because if their fathers are deadbeats or something. I'm talking about get an understanding with people because it's enough children out here. It's more children than that need guardianship than it is, people tripping about whose daddy or whose mom it is when you decide to separate from the biological mother and they have a different person in their life. It should be a clear understanding so children can learn how to communicate with each other better just from the foundation of seeing their mother and their father dealing with other people and showing them how to deal with other people by example. Just being, cordial with people, not tripping because, you show up and you want to be at your son's birthday party and because you got your girlfriend and your baby new child with you, the baby's mom is flipping out her wig because she can't come to terms with you've moved on or she for whatever reason it's too personal with that. You know what I'm saying? Circumstances are different. People have their reasons for doing something. I'm just suggesting for the sake of children, because I have so many. And I know my children. I'm wanting them to be influenced. I'm influencing them to be, caregiving and respectful to humanity, to human beings, all human beings. I don't want them to have to well, no, let me rephrase that. I want them to be able to go out in this world and attract people that are like them. That means we all have to start now when raising and influencing our children. And if you don't have a balance on that, get in the mirror and check yourself. Check yourself and find out how to get balance with you so that you can be an influence. Because I'm gonna tell you, it's to me, parenting is not hard. The part that's hard is making the decision to check yourself in the areas where you know you're wrong and you know that you need growth. That's where parenting comes in. It's not parenting that causes it's an individual choice to be in touch with yourself or not. And if you choose to be in touch with yourself, it's easy to parent to me because the relationship comes better with yourself and automatically the universe lines you up with your children because they're co-creation of you with someone else. They're a co-creation version of you, be as somebody else's assistant. So it's like you have to I really, suggest that we take a step back and take a look in the mirror consistently. I would say take 15 minutes a day, not the 15 minutes that you take brushing your teeth and combing your hair and washing your face, getting ready for that. I'm talking about 15 minutes of care, emotional care, looking inside your soul, checking yourself for, blockages that's stuck down in your cheek, that's really down in there. You can see them through the passage of your eyes because you can't lie to yourself. You look like directly into your soul and talk to yourself in sincerity. You could say things to yourself that you wouldn't say to other people, and you shouldn't be embarrassed if you're in a place by yourself. And I tell you, just from my own personal experience, it's changed my life to the point where I've had to reinvent myself. I've said that a million times because it is what it is. You do. We're born again consistently if we choose to be in the sense of that. Like I just, we could choose that because it's what we do. We're walking this thing through, and being the proper influence to a child comes from being a good human being first. As a man, you must look at yourself. Do you want other little men to look at you and you be, whatever the bad part of you, that's what they catch on to? I mean, for real, and if you're young and you feel like, yeah, you want to influence the little G's a certain way and all that, the little dudes, whatever, you want to, kind of influence them the wrong way because you were influenced the wrong way. You think that's the right way. Man, come on, man. Look at the outcome. Look at what's happening. I saw. a little rapper. He couldn't have been 12 or 13, and he talking about killing everybody. You talking about how many, how many bodies he got with the females. He talking about all kind of stuff. Like he's like on something. He's like really. And I was just looking at all the comments. Some people were in the comments, boosting him up, and some people in the comments like, bro, the universe is not playing right now. And I suggest we let everyone know the universe is not playing. You get what you put out. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard to feel sorry for anybody when you know that. It's compassion in people in my heart to see, the stupid shit that goes on. But it's like I don't have no compassion for ignorant shit. Like when people do ignorant things and then they get caught up as a result and everybody come running up to help. I mean, man, all these examples out here for us to go by. All the examples to not go by. Like you got it's on the table. It's not necessarily even. I think it might be more examples of things to not go by than to go by because a lot of people don't want to deal with the stress of extra shit just trying to talk to people and share a new way or a different way to look at things. We must. I have kings and queens, young princes and princesses that I want to become kings and queens, like for real. And I want them to be able to be safe in this vibrational realm, spiritually safe, because physically it's the thing you just learn how to take care of yourself and learn how to keep your head on a swivel when it come down to life, and that's just an automatic. I feel like that's for men, especially those of us cut from that cloth, because I know it's just important, man. It's very important to be in touch with yourself. Take that time out in the mirror, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, honest, because it takes about it might take about 10 minutes to get locked in to just take it serious. You know what I'm saying? It may, but then too, what it is we must just lock in. We must lock in and take heed to the abilities that we have inside of us, and know that you're the deciding factor. It's not a book that you read. It's not a God in the sky that's feeding you stuff. That's not what it is. It's a conscious decision and you understanding what and who you are, what power you have, and who you are as a spirit being, and what you're connected to as a source energy of this, the one source that is. You connected to it, and you exist on the level of understand of creation and being able to create your way. It's a lot of things that go with that. But the basic understanding of you being honest with yourself and you checking on yourself and you coming to terms with you're the deciding factor, especially after you've seen all these influence. You don't have an excuse. You have no no father figure. I mean, it's enough dudes on YouTube that could be father figures just in the sense of how to carry yourself, and it's enough dudes on the internet, on YouTube, and all these other platforms to show you exactly how not to be. I think there may be more of that, unfortunately. But that's in a personal perspective, because some cats they looking for the way to grow up to be that way, and some cats are growing up and looking for a way to be this way. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I can't say that any of it is wrong. I'm gonna put it in the context of people choose what they want to do, and you get what you put out. And no matter what you think, there is a effect. There's a cause, an effect, and it is an effect all time at all times, just like gravity, just like energy. It's always there. It doesn't have to be created. It does not have to be. It's always there. It's just where you jump in on it. It's like where you grab it at, where you allow it to be in tap with you. You know what I'm saying? Where you line up to it. So in the aspect of it, I just know that it's a possibility. There's always possibilities for all of us to do better and be better examples. And I'm just saying, as a father, as a melanated man, as a king, as a God king, as source energy first and foremost, as in this avatar as God king, as a brother to all who receive, as a brother to all who receive respectfully. Um, we're here to make a difference, and that I shall do. I am. I am here to make a difference. I am here to show. that a difference can be made just by my actions and my influence. And willfully, you'll be able to see or feel what it is. Because if you don't see me and you hear me and you feel it, then you know it's the same as that. So that's what I say. To all that look like me, I want to assist all that look like me, all that can hear me, and all that come within the sound of my voice. You know, I will that I'm able to be of some type of love and powerful influence to good, to greatness, to to be a better entity in this vibrational realm. And any questions or concerns, or not, concerns or whatever. Like like I say, I'm here to assist anyone who has any kind of questions. I don't know if I can answer. I feel like I can answer. I can answer any question that's asked me, but from the perspective of how my experience was in reference to it, I just have to hear what it is and compare it to what feeling I relate to. And I'm sure, as far as parenting is concerned, I'm sure I got a relative experience, because I don't think I have. I've gone through it all with this parenting thing, and I'm consistently, it's consistently happening. Like from discipline, from being the influence to being the disciplinarian, to being, the friend, to being the father, to being the provider, to being the one who listens, to being the one who gets shitted on, to being the one who has to take shit no matter what. You have to take and flip it around and make it work no matter what, especially if you know that you are the responsible factor. I have nobody that I can bank on. I don't have no support. I will that I can, support someone else, and then I can attract some support, and then we can start attracting support together, those that are like-minded and share the same energy. Because I know it's possible, and I hear a lot of cats like, "Oh, it's over with for the black family." Well, I can't say that because I got a black family. You dig what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit here and shit on my family. I'm not gonna shit on my life and what my intentions are. I understand it's grim, it looks bad, but we attract what we are, man. So if you keep on saying it's over for the black family, then it's gonna be over for you and yours. Like, that's just what I feel. It doesn't have to be over for all of us, man. Some of us, the power that we have in us, I will that we can really get that part together. Because if we really stop doubting and quit going with the energy of the religious backgrounds, we'll become more, more knowing to the fact that, what you mean, we could change this thing around immediately if enough of us came together. Like, for real, it doesn't take a whole lot either. It just takes the right. It just takes the right ones of us, the ones who have the umph to go all the way with it, and the fact of bringing your family to the forefront, and being the example of what is and what should be. And I know nobody's perfect, but we're just going to do the best we can. Everybody here in this human experience is human for right now. You know what I'm saying? Or for the perspective of having a human experience or some type of alien experience, because this is just our avatar. So but in the aspect of it, we can control it way better. And the things that we've allowed to happen, the ancestors are not really accepting that no more. We have to, those of us who know, have to really come together. And if you know in what I'm speaking, like, if you can assist me with something and you know that because you see what I'm doing, I don't have a whole lot of likes, a whole lot of followers and all of that, but what my power is different. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking for followers. I'm looking for supporters, people I can support so that we can really make something move. I don't even, feel the desire to have a, I know we have to provide for ourselves. We have to do what we have to do. We need to share love with each other. We need to share finance with each other. We need to build, build a real family back from the structure of foundation of creation, what we know how to do for real, and get to that, stay to that. And like, so that's what I'm saying. I'm challenging, or whatever you want to call it, just calling out to those who are really willing to make a change or do something to, to apply to the change. Because yeah, we can sit back and talk about it all day, like, but we have to do something. Small steps. Eventually, you're gonna get somewhere if you're walking, even if you're making small steps. You know, I know that over time things changes, and because time is working so fast, quit looking at it like it's time. All is now anyway. that time thing has been put there as a just as a something to basically fog your simple mental ability to create your own now, to where things happen now for you, and you don't have to say, well, in this amount of time I'm going to get this, or I'm going to do this. No, when we tap in right, we'll understand more clearly about what this now means, and now means now, and then your ability to visualize what you see and vibrationally put yourself there will, it'll show up physically. That's how all my children got here. And it wasn't just because me and my wife had a lot of, sex. That wasn't just it. There's a lot of people have sex. They don't get pregnant all the time. They don't have babies all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's divine intervention when that happens. So I have to really go to that, because people are like, you don't know, you don't have a TV, y'all didn't do. Man, look, I enjoy all the time that I had to co-create with my wife, with my queen, to co-create my children. But I'm telling you, it wasn't as much as that, as much as it's the connection to love and what I feel energy does, and looking at when they actually came, me understanding astrology and cardology, and more about numerology. I understand, and me studying my natal chart, I understand why all of them came when they came. I understand the love that we had when they were conceived. I even understand when the ones that came prematurely, why they came when they did. Like how, because it's interesting, just the more you decide to check in with yourself, the more things that matter spiritually will show up. And then the more things that you thought you needed will move themselves out of that you thought you needed will show up, and the things that you don't need, they'll move themselves out of the way naturally. You won't have to think twice about it. It's not like you will never have to question anything that's about it, because it's like once you get into your knowing, it's like you don't have to question that. And all of us have this power. And I think what some of us that are older than some of these youngsters, we're not giving credit to. They came here with that power before we had it. And I mean, they came now with it because technology has increased. We came with it as well, but it was kind of dimmed out for us because they frequency, they were working hard to keep that off. And they tried hard with these youngsters, but these youngsters are not having it. I'm telling you about raising them. And you're not gonna rule no youngster right now. That's not what you're gonna do. What you need to do is come to terms with, you co-created with someone, and you got, in this time you have a genius that is here to assist you to greatness. And if you can focus and be balanced with that, then something great will provide itself for you in the process of what you're doing with your parenting. Because it doesn't have to be like a public thing, because children affect your life from a whole different perspective. Because I'm telling you, I don't have to be in the limelight for my wealth to show. I am the wealthiest person on this planet, to me, because I have the love that I have from my children, based upon me doing my best to show them that they're the ones that are the deciding factors to how their life is going to turn out. That I'm here to assist them as a cooperative component. I want to do everything that I can, as a human being. But you have to respect the fact that I came here, you know, in this physical time before you, even though you may be spiritually older than me. So we have to tap in, and we have to learn from each other. So I've decided to take that approach, and that's why everything has changed. That's why everything looks different. That's why my children are different. And I'm not saying that because, they're mine. I'm saying that because they are. You know what I'm saying? And I see it and I feel it, and everybody around me sees it. And that's what I feel like is necessary to express or share, because if you just follow that rule of getting yourself together, staying out the way, and trusting the fact that they came here for something, and you are if you're doing right by you, you're going to be doing right by them. That's the way the universe works. It's not a way for you to be doing wrong by you, and not be doing be doing right by you and not be doing right by them, because it's a natural effect. It's a biological norm. It's going to be just like that. That's what happens. Same thing if you're doing negative. It's going to negatively affect them naturally, however you are. So this is important. Nobody's perfect, but every day you get a chance to get better. You get a chance to make this thing better. You get a chance to straighten up your life just by looking in the mirror and checking yourself. smiling at somebody you didn't smile at, apologize to somebody that you knew you were wrong about, or if you on that, think negative about somebody. When you find yourself doing that, when you look at somebody you want to think that negative shit, go ahead and check yourself and look at yourself. And look, this is a good thing to do. Look at yourself and say, what could somebody say negatively about me if they were looking at me right now? I bet you if you're honest with yourself, you probably you probably find a lot of flaws in yourself if you're going to be honest with yourself, and that should have stopped quick. You'll stop. It'll help you. It'll assist you pretty quick to stop, judging people, that type shit like that, doing all that undermined, backbiting. You don't want to, necessarily respect somebody because of their energy being higher than yours or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? There's no time for that. I say show love, share love, be love, do love, all you can do, man. Now, because things that are happening, just because you black don't mean you gonna make it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to be spiritually in touch with the ancestors on that love thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Woman, you know what I'm saying? Whoever the hell you are, you know what I'm saying? That's I'm speaking to, like I said, everybody who looks like me, everybody who sees me, and I mean that, sees me in the sense of my energy. Like, you know what I'm saying? And anybody and everybody who comes within the sound of my voice. I just want to be, no, let me stop that. I don't even know how that came out of my mouth. I am here to do, and I am going to do, and I am doing. Not I wanna. No, I've been doing already, So in motion, full fledged, in motion. Ride with me. Ride with me. All the G's for real. All you real fathers, y'all gangsters who really know y'all gangster in a different way, because gangster shit been labeled on me. Like, I passed that test a long time ago. Nobody wants to be a gangster for life, but I'm God first. Like, I'm source energy first. On the God tip, that's the small word for it. I'm on source energy. Energy. I'm on source energy. I'm on source energy vibration. I'm there with that, and you are too. So if you hear me, if you're in the sound of my voice, we must be in some kind of common tone or some kind of something. You know what I'm saying? So I want to rock with that. I want us to focus and get that, figure out some kind of way to make that work out. So I'm challenging brothers to hit me up, like, with ideas on what you feel like we can do individually and collectively. Because individually, I can tell you some stuff. Hit me up and I'll tell you. And I'll share. Like, I just shared a few things you could do. And that mirror, man, that mirror. Don't take your ass to the mirror trying to be cute, looking at your pretty diamond teeth and shit like that, your pretty goals and all of that, and your tattoos all in your face, and trying to see if your eyelashes look good, sweetheart. You know what I'm saying? Don't do all of that type shit. This is to put a check on your soul, put a check on your spirit, see who you are, see if you really, deserve to be in this process. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't deserve it, get your ass out the way. We don't need no laggers, man. You know what I'm saying? When the war jump off, I tell you who getting got first. You motherfuckers is in the way. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect. Don't mean no disrespect, but logic. You know what I'm saying? Don't be one of those. Don't be one of those, because we got work to do. And all of those who really not assisting us to it, that's the ops. That's the enemy. You kill them spiritually, man. You know what I'm saying? Get to the magic, man. You can kill them spiritually, bro. You can put them out the way easily. You can make it where they have so many issues to deal with that they'll never see you again. They'll never think of you again. You can put an erasure in their memory. You know what I'm saying? Just by the way you carry yourself spiritually. Just by the way you carry yourself. The magic is within. The magic is within. It's within all of us. So don't think other people don't have the power. They've been using that shit on us since day one. Now it's time to activate. Family, activate. It's time to active fucking bait. You dig what I'm saying? All I'm saying is that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, what up though? We gotta do what we gotta do. I mean, that's what I'm doing. So ride with me. Peace, love, and eternal power. Hotep.